we're back, and Sid Gilson is showing us how he builds his innovative underground irrigation system. And Sid, is this how you do it? Only a few inches deep?
Yes, about 5 inches deep, and it's a simple matter of digging this trench. And then we lay the pipe and attach it at both ends with these anchors that we've designed in order to hold the pipe nice and straight and get a straight line.
Okay, anything else you do here to make sure everything's adjusted right?
Well, what we need to do is take this and tighten it up good and be sure that the holes in the pipe, which are located every 6 inches and about 1/16 inch in diameter, and attach it here so it's good and tight. And then we pull this block down and anchor this with the rebar. And of course, if we have a much longer line up to 33 feet long, you can use this system. This is very important because the hose tends to snake. So we get it anchored in real good, and then we take our water and run our water through the hose and test to see if any of the holes are clogged. Now, the water usually comes up about 6 inches, and I'm sure as soon as the air is out of our hose here, we'll see the water coming up. Then we take a deck screw, and if any of these holes are plugged up, which they might with debris, we take and put it in and clean out that little hole with our deck screw and unclog it. After everything's going and the water's running fine, then we cover it very gently while the water is running so that we don't clog it up.
Right, if you were to try and push the soil back when it's not running, you could fill the holes.
That's right.
Oh,
and
good.
We cover that up and leave the water running, and then as soon as we have it all covered, we go ahead and turn the water off and dig our trench and plant our seeds for our furrow.
Well, that's pretty fancy, and I noticed this fancy manifold system here. This looks pretty complicated.
It's really not. Anybody that can attach a hose to a house faucet can run one of these systems, and it's very inexpensive.
Can you show us how to do that?
I'd be glad to do that.
Let's go take a look. Well, Sid, this looks like a very interesting workbench you've got here.
Yes, these are all the elements we need to set up our system, and it's relatively simple. First, we start with a 3/4 by 1/2 inch slip joint with a 1/2 inch exit on one end, and then we screw in this short plastic nipple, and then we take a PC valve, 1/2 inch PC valve, and attach that on.
A ball valve, so
ball valve.
That's better than some of the gate valves, which tend to get stuck on us.
This doesn't corrode. And then to that, we take an adapter that we can hook to our hose, 1/2 inch again. Whoops, that jumped out of my hand. And then we can screw that in.
Yeah. Nothing hard yet.
Nothing hard to that. Anybody can do that. And then what we need to do is hook this up to our main line. To do that, we take out the gasket. We take our 3/4 inch
which may be a
PVC pipe.
Maybe a lot longer than that, but
yes. Put that in. Screw that on, and tighten that up with our hands, and we've got a real tight connection with the low pressure that we use. And then of course we do the other end, and this has got a plug on the end if you want to use a plug, but if not, we can just go ahead and add a longer piece of pipe that would hook on other places. Now when we come off here, we want to hook up to our rows, underground rows. So we take a piece of black hose, scrimp that all up real tight up there against that. And then we may want to run a T off it. So we could take a T and also insert that and go off into 4 or 5 rows. However, we can also take a 1/2 inch diameter green hose and slide that in. The exterior of that is 1/2 inch. So these are all the different kinds of combinations we can use. And of course, this is a corner piece that we could put on here to line up our corners, and all kinds of combinations. It takes a little push, but it goes in quite easily. Now,
some barbs hold it pretty well then.
Sometimes it's hard to pull off by hand, but if you take your pliers, a firm grasp, and pull it off, it comes off quite easily.
So you can fix mistakes.
And you can adapt it each year to different hoses that you might need.
Okay, and so how hard is it to cut this tube?
It's not hard at all. This is your standard cutter, and for an example, you can cut the PVC very easily with that. It's sure a lot better than using a saw, and see how easily that snips off.
Good straight cut.
And then of course we can do with our black hose the same way, and the same way with our green hose, and it cuts very easily to any dimensions that we would need.
Anyone could do this then?
Yes, yes.
Sid, thank you for showing this. It's a simple system, but it's also very innovative, and you can do it too.
Very good, you're welcome.